Teenage Werewolf. I'm a Teenage Frankenstein. The local
Welcome back, creepy kitties. This is Aiden, the monster maker himself, and today we've got a treat for those of you who love the classic creatures. So I've done a lot of videos before about the 1950s horror, the low-budget ones, the bottom of the barrel, but still very much loved monster movies. And if you're familiar with that subject, you're definitely familiar with American International Pictures and their slew of teenage monster films. I was a teenage werewolf, I was a teenage Frankenstein, I was a teenage vampire, and before you correct me in the comments below, I'm very much aware that it's called Blood of Dracula, which I don't know why, but whatever. And these three films, along with other ones like Invasion of the Saucermen, were huge hits at the time and very much defined that era of drive-in horror movies. And yes, the monsters themselves are not like the greatest designs ever, but they're very iconic, and people, of course, can tell the difference between the Wolfman and the Karloff Frankenstein as opposed to their kitty counterparts who still occupy a very unique niche of their own because they discovered a whole new audience of teenagers at that time, and yeah, these were very, very successful. Now, how well do they hold up over time? I'm sure they still have their fans. I'm sure a lot of fans of classic cinema still like them. As for me, how much they hold up, I want to like them. I think I can sum it up by saying I've watched Teenage Werewolf far more often on Mystery Science 3000 than I have watched it uncut. They're very low budget. A lot of them can be pretty dumb at times. A lot of them do have a lot of padding out of the film. And if you love classic monsters, you'll like it. Otherwise, who knows? Now, there is one that stands among them. There is one that doesn't talk down to its audience. There is one that is very much smarter than the rest of them and has a lot of inside jokes that I think any monster kid will definitely get. That movie, of course, is
How to Make a Monster.
How to Make a Monster. I really, really like. It's one of my favorite horror movies of that era, and of course, anybody who makes monsters, anybody who loves monsters will definitely get a kick out of it. The basic premise of the film, of course, is that a monster-making maestro makeup man, Pete Drummond, as played by Robert H. Harris, in a very well-done creepy role, who uses a mind-controlling monster makeup on his teen horror stars to get revenge on these stupid studio heads. To that end, he brings back the Teenage Werewolf and the Teenage Frankenstein and uses them for his own nefarious needs. It is a lot of fun to watch, and of course a lot of fun to kind of imagine what you could do if you could bring your favorite monster movies to life and get revenge on the idiots who bugged you. It's a lot of fun. The movie moves at a brisk pace. There's not a hell of a lot of padding except for this one musical number with an Elvis wannabe, but you know, whatever, that was the time period. And of course it all cultivates to that really great ending with the Monster Museum and getting to see cameos by the She-Creature, the Saucermen, and even Beulah, the killer carrot from outer space from It Conquered the World. Chances are, if you love monster movies, and you wouldn't be watching this channel if you weren't, you'll definitely enjoy How to Make a Monster. One of the little things that might taint How to Make a Monster, either for me or for fans out there, is the possibility that this movie's premise was stolen. Those of you who love monster movies definitely know Edward D. Wood Jr., better known to the world as Ed Wood, the Angoraphile. According to his claims by either himself or his widow, How to Make a Monster was plagiarized from a story treatment he had submitted to studios, which would have involved a horror actor, not a makeup man, who would have been played by Bela Lugosi, getting revenge on studio heads. Now, Wood claimed that How to Make a Monster producer Samuel Z. Arkoff stole the idea from him. Arkoff denied the claim and said that it was an original idea by the screenwriter, and unfortunately, there's not really any way to corroborate one man's story over the next. Who can really say what happened? I really hope that wasn't the case, but then again, it might have all been a great big coincidence. The idea of a horror actor wearing makeup getting revenge on studio heads is not really unique to either of these guys. That's a story premise that goes as far back as the origin of Batman's villain Clayface. And if Bob Kane was involved with that, then you know it's plagiarized because Bob Kane was a goddamn thief. And who knows how much further it goes. Again, who can really say what happened? There really is very little records. But I really hope that isn't the case, because How to Make a Monster is just too damn good of a movie. Whatever the case may be, it's still a really good film, so hopefully we can all enjoy it for what it is, and I kind of get the feeling that any monster kids watching this channel will definitely enjoy it, and have probably already seen it already a million times. Alright, creepy kids, see you next time. Bye-bye.